Hey everybody, welcome back to the van. Well, I haven't been on here very much lately on this channel. I've been on my other channel every week, but this one I've not been on much, and there's been a good reason for it. The weather here in southern Alberta this spring has been horrendous. In southern Alberta, we get a lot of wind, days of 60 kilometer an hour, 80 kilometer an hour, even 100 kilometer an hour plus winds are not unusual, but our windiest month is usually February, and then it usually drops off pretty quick after that. Well, it is June right now, middle of June, and the winds are still insane. In fact, there's been a number of days when I've actually recorded in the van, and it has been so windy you could hear the wind over me. Yes, it's that bad here in southern Alberta. Add to that we've had a lot of really cold days as well, and I've not been getting out much. And for those days that I am getting out, I'm just not producing a video because I'm trying to enjoy the nice weather before it disappears, because it's usually only half a day, maybe a day, and then the weather changes again. But I did manage to get out. I did actually get to enjoy myself. Got some pictures. Had a really good time. It was so nice to get out, so I thought I would share some of the pictures. I headed to the mountains, and everything in the mountains is in full swing when the weather's not gusting and really cold, on its way to spring-like conditions. The wildflowers are starting to come out at lower altitudes. Up higher, there's still actually a ton of snow up higher. I could not believe how much snow there was, even down low in the shaded areas. I found a lot of snow still packed in there. And then just last week, we got another big dump of snow, which actually caused a number of roadways to be shut down in the mountains because of avalanche risk, and just because it just wasn't safe driving. So it's definitely been a weird year. Like I said, I've definitely enjoyed this trip. I got to see a lot of animals, got to see a lot of wildflowers, and I'm hoping that if the weather smartens up, I'll be out there again soon. So enjoy the rest of these pictures, and then I'm going to talk a little bit in a second here about what to do when you're building your van. Should you live in a van or live out of a van? So talk to you soon. Bye-bye now. Hey everybody, welcome back to the van. It's a beautiful day in southern Alberta, not sunny. It's actually raining out right now. It was an overcast day when I came down here. It was actually raining a little bit. Got to do a lot of exploring, a lot of pictures, really enjoyed the day. Then I came back, found this campsite. There's nobody around. I think in the 30 campsites, there's 6 people here, including myself. So it's pretty much empty. So I went out and did some pictures, and then as it started to rain, I came back, made myself some supper, and now I decided that I would do up a video for you. So I want to talk about something. If you're building a vehicle to live in or to live out of, what is the difference? I see so many times people building one and saying they got the other, and then people trying to do something with one that they can't do, so they're trying all this other stuff. So let's talk about whether you want to live in your vehicle or you want to live out of your vehicle. Now, you can live out of a suitcase. Heard it many times. I'm living out of my suitcase because I'm waiting for whatever. Or I'm on a business trip, so I'm living out of a suitcase. You can do that with the smallest car. I used to live out of a bike. All my stuff was on my bike. My clothes, my food, my house, everything was on my bike. When I used to go bike riding, if I pulled over at night, I could set up a complete house. I could make my supper. I had food with me. I had everything I needed with me. And you can do that with a vehicle with no problem. And there's nothing wrong with it. But understand, if you're going to build a vehicle to live out of, there's different things that you want to buy and that you want to do before you start building, or if you're renovating, so that you're living out of and you're not stuck living in when you want to be out. First thing I see is so many people build these beautiful vans, and they build a stovetop in their van, and then they get to a campground and they go, well, I have to cook inside. I have nowhere else to cook. Yes, you could take a portable stove with you. Yes, you could take something else with you, but that's more stuff to haul. That's more stuff to carry. In my case, I like living in and out of my van, so I have a portable stovetop. Works great 90% of the time. 90% of the time, there's no trouble whatsoever. 90% of the time. 10% of the time, there's a huge problem. And what's that problem? When it's 30 below and I'm using my propane stove, which is what I have to vent it. And to vent it, I have to suck cold air in through the van and out. So my furnace is running all the time when I'm cooking, and it's ridiculously cold. It doesn't work so well. So you could do something like putting a convection top in your vehicle. Now, if I put a convection top in my vehicle, I don't know if I would carry an outdoor stove as well. I like it when it's raining to come back and cook my supper. I don't eat a lot of big cooked meals. I eat salads. I eat quick meals when I'm on the road because that's the type of person I am. And when I'm on the road to do something. So being in a van 12 hours out of a day, to me, is boring. I'm watching over here, and you'll see me keep glancing out at everybody. There's all these birds and everything, and I'm just starting to shake because I could go out and photograph them. Even if it's raining, I could drop my window, and I could take pictures of them. There's so much I could do. I don't want to be stuck in the van just staring at a TV screen or watching Netflix or watching YouTube videos when I could be enjoying it. So I have my van set up so I can do both. So I can live in it or I can live out of it. But when I eat, I just eat a basic meal and I'm gone. I don't sit around. I don't waste time. If you're going to build a vehicle to live out of, build it so you live out of it. But understand the limitations are when it's cold, when it's wet, you're going to be cooking outside in it. If you want a vehicle that you can live in, build your vehicle so you can live in. Put a built-in washroom in it. Maybe a shower, maybe a sink, maybe a stovetop, whatever. Build it so you can live in it. If you're like me, build it 50-50, but understand the issues you're going to run into. You may have to carry an extra stovetop. You may have to carry extra stuff. You may be limited when the temperature's at different areas. So before you build, think it through really well. Like I said, I see so many people building one and then saying they've got something and then looking at them and going, you haven't got that. I saw a guy the other day that says, I have a complete apartment here. Everything is perfect. And he has to go out to get to anything that he needs to cook with. Well, that's not an apartment because if it's pouring rain, if it's snowing outside, you're getting wet. You're living out of your vehicle and trying to live in your vehicle. So think about this before you make your build, before you do any renovations, and it'll save you a lot of trouble. Well, I think I've done enough talking. These birds are driving me up the wall. I'm going to have to go and take some pictures. Have a great day. Enjoy getting out there, and we'll talk to you soon.